Hello, Torah community. It's from Natan here to share with you some words of Torah for this week's Parsha Tazria. One of the things that, if you zoom out and look at Tzara'at and the process by which someone figures out if they have Tzara'at, maybe the process by which they figure out if they went away or if they have to go into isolation because of their Tzara'at, is they have to interact with the Kohen a lot. Now, in our Parsha, it's Aaron and his sons, but in the future, says our sages, it'll be the Kohanim in general. The Kohanim have the ability to determine Tzara'at or no Tzara'at. They have determined the ability to determine between many different shades of the different colors, the green, the reds, the yellows, the whites, and be able to check and see if it's getting worse, getting better. And that's a power of the Kohen. Now, on the one hand, you could say, okay, well, if anyone learns how to do anything, they'll know it. So the Kohanim, they're not special in the way of being able to know about Torah. They just spent a lot of time learning all the details, and now they're the ones in charge of it. But I would like to ask the question of maybe the Kohanim aren't the best people. Maybe there are people who are more suited to be able to interact with Tzara'at. Maybe as people who can tell colors really well, or the people who know the human body well. Tzara'at, maybe it's a doctor. The idea that the Kohanim are the ones who are in charge of it is an interesting thing. Why is that? I heard an idea that connects the Kohanim's role of Tzara'at and in general to being able to differentiate between what's Tameh and what's not Tameh, who has Tzara'at, who doesn't have Tzara'at. The story of Nadav and Avihu. And last week's parsha, Nadav and Avihu died because they brought this Eish Zara that Hashem did not command, this foreign fire Hashem did not command, and they're killed there in the Mishkan. And Hashem tells Aaron and his other two sons immediately that they cannot show any signs of mourning, no signs of Avelut. They can't take the bodies out of the Mishkan. They can't leave the Mishkan. They can't let their hair go unkept, and they can't rip their clothes. They have to remain in the Mishkan and in the Simcha of the inauguration in the Mishkan. And that is a very, very challenging thing. Can't imagine what Aaron and his sons are feeling. And yet at the same time, Hashem asks them to be able to stay in the moment and to be able to muster an incredible strength in that moment of challenge, in the moment of feeling down, to be able to push through. I think maybe that's the reason why Kohanim are uniquely suited to be able to interact with Tzara'at. You see, a person who gets Tzara'at, it's because they did something wrong. Now, we teach our kids here in school Lashon Hara, but the truth is the Gemara lists a whole bunch of other things that a person could do wrong that would get them Tzara'at. When a person gets Tzara'at, they're exiled from the camp. They're Tameh, they're impure. No one's allowed to go near them. No one's allowed to, interact with them. They have to shout out the words impure, impure. So that's really hard. They feel alone. They feel like they've been left. They feel like they've been abandoned. And they need to be able to bring a sense of strong resolve in that moment, in the moment of intense feeling isolated and sad and down. They need to be able to muster up the spiritual strength to be able to remain positive, remain focused on the goal, which is reflecting and coming back into the camp anew. And that's where the Kohanim are able to do that, because they are able to do that. It's in their DNA from the story of Nadav and Avihu, and certainly it's how they can help each and every person when they have Torah to be able to move through that process. I think maybe it's a message for all of us that we have in our DNA. We may not be a Kohanim in the sense that I'm not a Kohen, I don't get that first Aliyah, but we are Mamlechet Kohanim. We have in our DNA as a Jewish people to be able to, in times of tragedy, in times of when things are tough for us, we feel like we're down and maybe we're isolated, much of that strength to be able to push through and stay focused and stay positive and get out of there to a greater end. So bracha to everybody is that should be, we should be able to find that spiritual strength whenever we need it, both individually and as a people. Shabbat shalom.